Hey, it's me, Jacqueline, again, with another video for a twin flame path. You caught me in my warm uh, blanket situation. It's not. I have a shirt on, but this is not like some avant-garde nouveau style. But it's just how I wear my blanket. It's kind of like a late night video. I guess we can call it like a nightcap. Um, I just felt inspired to come and to share some encouragement. I heard about this blue moon lunar eclipse situation, and that's supposed to be happening at the end of this month, which is January of 2018. And no matter what time it is, like as far as dates are concerned, when you're watching this video, it can be a year from now. And something similar is most likely going to be happening, because these things happen in these year phases, but this one happens every 2 years. This particular lunar eclipse happens every 2 years. And these are general estimates that I'm giving, but but the last one that happened, I think during the blue moon, was in like 1866 or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. It was something that was super interesting for me, particularly like personally, I guess you can say, because it's like you go through these like highs, and then you go through these, I wouldn't call them lows, but they're not exactly highs, and they can be very exhausting, And I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, why am I so tired all the time? And it's not like a health thing. I mean, I guess it could be, but it's a little bit more than like a health thing, because there's been a lot of purging going on, like a lot of really intense periods of meditation, which are followed by really intense periods of sleep with intense dreams that are like of this purging nature. And this moon situation, I think, just really clears the air a little bit on why. And I like to wonder why. And let me know. I feel as if it's the same for a lot of us. But not knowing why, this could also be human nature, but not knowing why really can be frustrating sometimes, because I'll fill in the blanks. And I've been taught not to lean in your own understanding, but I don't even know what that means sometimes, because it's like I feel as if what I think I know could actually be what is, and I want to try to use that to grow a little bit more, but then you get reduced to like, not reduced, but you realize, nothingness is a big part of the game. Let me see if that might help. Had a little monitor over here, and didn't want it to be causing some interference like with lighting and LCD stuff. So, but yeah, so like not leaning in your own understanding. It's like, what do you really know? Especially with this twin flame situation, because it's like you want it to accelerate, or you want to know about the other person, what you can do for them, and then it turns out like you got to just take this massive chill pill. And another thing is that the theory, the promise of all things working together for good, during these points of non-high, I get really disappointed easily, but you can get very disappointed very easily in something that you're having a misunderstanding about. And during these times of purges, I encourage you to not stop, to keep going, because during this purging process, your mind can kind of turn into like scrambled eggs, like they feel a little beat up, but then they turn into something like really delicious. That is, if you eat eggs. Yeah, so some kind of analogy like that. But I wanted to give everyone some encouragement just to hold strong, because usually during these periods, there's still as much to be learned as there is during the high times, and it's just a little bit more tiring. It's like that forged in the fire kind of situation. So let me get a comfortable nest position here. But yeah, I think that we're all making good progress. This is turning into a little bit of an assessment or a reading situation. I think we're all making good progress. I just think that the rhythm of things getting closer, the frequency, the rhythm, the ebb and flow, I feel as if it's part of the process of becoming closer. Like, I noticed that there's like a certain frequency, it's like you'll be traveling along and you'll get closer, and then there's this thing where it's kind of like that, and then it's like you vibrate out and then you choose to come closer again, and it kind of does that. And I noticed that a lot of us started out like, let's say, off the map, and then we came in and we started this thing, and then, you go from there, and then you're here to there, and then you're in this little, like, ding, 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 and it's just, like, all over the place sometimes. And I noticed this through videos that I watch of other people in the community, which is really helpful. I really encourage that. I would name some, but I just feel like it won't be fair to others, because you tend to like vibe with your tribe, and I feel like everybody will find everybody that they need, just like the way that we are with our twin flames. But yeah, so I'm seeing that, other people in the collective are going through similar things, and it's really a curious thing, because you'll kind of see a similarity in everybody, but the way that they present it is unique to their own character. And that just is an illustration of how complex this is. Like, the differences in how people say things when they're saying things that are all very similar, it's just a good demonstration of the actuality of what is, which is a lot. So I also noticed lately that the mirroring of twins is becoming more intense. Like, we're all beginning to see how much we mirror each other and how much we reflect, like, what one needs through the other's behavior, or what needs to be learned is demonstrated through the other's behavior. And this is not for false twins. I've been seeing videos about false twins. I think that's been another thing that has come up in certain corners of and certain avenues of the collective or the whole community as a whole. There's some false twins lurking, like, and some people that are really hard pressed on this person is my twin. And I've been getting kind of word in light of that these things have been, I guess these connections have been being forced for like years. If you're in a position, or if you're in this situation of high dysfunction with a lot of feelings of sadness and a lot of feelings of like heaviness, that could be like your empathic self wanting to help somebody. And most likely you're a devoted kind of person and you don't want to leave, and you should really explore thoroughly the situation that you're in if it's causing you like pain, a lot of tears, a lot of agony, not like the agony, I guess, of yearning, but like straight up agony, like straight up disrespect, you know, straight up like abandonment, straight up like, you know, metaphorically being smacked in the face over and over. Like, loving your enemies is one thing, but like being subject to abuse is like another. And when it comes to these situations, what I noticed is that with the real situation, there isn't any like, I want you to lose weight. There isn't any, well, I would like you if you would do this, or, you know, I'm just going to take you for granted. You're always going to be there. There isn't anything. There's, what I found is like a reason for things that you may not prefer. You may not prefer having to wait, but there may be a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't realize that need to be cleaned up or arranged for the two of you. Or if you're in union, there may be things that one person would like from the other that they may not be getting, and there may be a stubbornness because both of you come from the same stubbornness that is kind of being tolerated because of stubbornness itself, but also what's the word I'm looking for? Not alleged, but the supposed, I guess, the seeming, the freedoms that seem to be a part of the stubbornness have a certain kind of appeal to them. And it's making you guys learn some things about each other. And it's to the degree of, it's within the degree that you guys can tolerate, you know, because of where you guys are. Those things, you know, may be hurtful to some, but are constructive for others, you know, and that's the dynamic of how these relationships like work. Because what I have noticed, what I've heard, is that all twin flame relationships are unique and they're like case sensitive. And when you get more involved and acquainted with the community, you see how deep and accurate that logic really is. Like, the similarities are there with the things that we're all going through, but like the complexity, it's like snowflakes, man. Like, it's really amazing. So you can't really apply like what one tolerance level of one relationship, one twin flame relationship is to like what yours is. Like, what they do and what they're okay with is most likely really different than what you and your twin would be okay with and able to deal with. I'm hypersensitive. I can hardly deal with anything. So, like, that's totally different than, you know, a feminine that's in another relationship that is like hardcore and like just able, like I might give it a go, like, or think that I'm giving something a go, or even thinking about like imagining it, and I might just end up in tears. I'm just saying, and that's just how it goes. That's how I am, and I hope that doesn't change. I hope that it's not like an immaturity thing. I kind of like that quality. I try not to have it be disruptive, but it's kind of like my way of showing that I care. And a way that, somebody else shows that they care, it is probably just like a lot different than what I do for me. So, or that I do it my way. And I like to try like, other styles. I'd like to do a lot of different styles, but my way tends to be my way. And when you see other twins doing things in a different way, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. So it's just a really vibrant kind of field of unlimited types of flowers and plants, and it's a good thing. So like I said, hang in there and appreciate the uniqueness of your relationship, your partnership, but also take note that the things that are part of your thought processes aren't like others, and that's cool too, because then you can take an observer's role, like that's just how they are, and that's really interesting. And then we get to know each other as a community, and ultimately that all leads back to us being able to express even more love towards our twin flame, or get to a point where we're having more of the conversations that our twin wants to have. I enjoy that aspect a lot. I'm very interested in things that he is interested in, because I really like being able to understand more of his mind and things that he's interested in and the way he thinks. And it's like I'm his biggest fan. So it's like beyond just, like, oh, that's cool, or even a curiosity. It's more like infatuation is a little bit of the word that I don't want to use, even though it's very accurate, but I feel like there's an even more accurate word. It's like a extreme level of intrigue, permanent intrigue. And of the most interesting person in the world. So when it comes to discussions like we're having here, I hope that it can trigger you and your twin to get into some really interesting conversations. So with that, I'm going to go and let that simmer for a little bit. And I'll talk to you guys, trying to not permanently, but get my blanket in order. But it's like a safety thing. But yeah, we're gonna let that simmer. We're gonna put that on low, put it on the back burner, cover it, and just let it simmer for a little bit. And I'll be back again. I have some specific topics that I want to cover. But for this one, I just was inspired to do it this way. So on that note, I will see you later, and take care in the meanwhile. And yeah, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourself. All right. Bye.